I'm telling you, people really. I don't even think a lot of people don't really believe in the Red Sea opening up. No, they don't really believe. I don't think they believe in it. Cause they ain't never went to no damn swimming pool and went that way, a pond or a river. I don't think they really believe. They just see it on TV every December 24th and around April. And they show kids, and that's what they see. I really don't think they really don't believe it. When Samson's father and mother, when the angel brought the fire down, people don't. But the Lord show you evidence when you see a lightning strike. It was possible. Like you have to believe me, man.
I got this spirit to say that. I got something to that point. This how you know pretty much our doctrine. From the elder apostles, GMS on down the right. It says, now faith, Hebrews 11:1, is the faith. Now faith is the substance of the things hoped for, and evidence of things not seen. So pretty much all the stuff we talking about is stuff you don't see it. That's how you know our doctrine right. That's beautiful. For the evidence of things not seen. So pretty much all the stuff we talking about is stuff you don't see it. That's how you know our doctrine right. That's beautiful. You don't see so-called black people ruling. You never seen that shit.
No, you never seen it.
You ain't seen so-called black Jesus. You never seen it. That's how you know it's right. Bro.
Shalom. I want to start this out by giving honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Wahawa Kakwadash. Double honor, salutations, peace, and blessings to the elect men of Israel. Starting with the elder apostles and elder bishops of the Great Millstone Church. Our John to the rest of you brothers and the brothers I labor with, all within the Great Millstone Church, who all push forth the winning doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in all faith, truth, and sincerity, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. To all of you, I say shalom. So, I just wanted to expound on this statement that the brother Sharia had made when reading Hebrews 11:1, because we were talking about Jake not believing, and Jake being so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? And this really just shows how much our people have fallen away from the Lord and from who they really are, because our people do great wonders, and if it's something physical that they can see, they believe it, but something highly spiritual, they don't, and that's because of the wicked ruling and them constantly looking to push for us to live after our flesh. And the Lord didn't make us to just live after our flesh. The Lord made us to live after the spirit, and that completely goes into what the brother Sharia has said, right? It's how you know that our ministry is true, is right, is 100% the truth, the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, who is the Most High and His only begotten Son. Yahweh being the Most High's name, right? Who people ignorantly just call God, or Yahweh or Jehovah, right? His true name in the Hebrew tongue, right, is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, the Messiah, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name is Yahweh Shai, right? Hamashiach being the Messiah, right? All being said in the Hebrew tongue, but nonetheless, right? I just wanted to expound on that, because when you look at those that are in the faith, that truly in the faith, one thing is consistent, right? And that's exactly what the brother Sharia has said, right? Everything that we talk about is things that have not yet been seen, just yet through the physical eye. We talk about everything, but the things that we also talk about, and we talk about heavily, are the things that have not yet been seen, But that doesn't take away at all those things being true and those things being on the way to manifest. You know. So I just want to get a few scriptures that had came to mind, you know, going into that topic. You know, Lord willing, let's be edifying, right? So I'm gonna start here in Hebrews 1, right? Reading it again. So Hebrews 11 and verse 1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Right? So it's through faith that we gonna continue to keep ourselves in position to receive salvation, right? It's through us believing and looking to put our belief and our faith into action, right? All through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, that we gonna be saved, you know. Truly believing and truly having your mind on the Lord, right? As it says in Psalms 37, you know what I'm saying? When your ways delight the Lord, He gonna give you your desires, you know. And Salaki, I'm in transit, so if you sound loud or if it be a moment where I'm grabbing the scripture, bear with me, Baba Kashar. But anyways, it's through us having our minds on the Most High, even when it says it in Jeremiah, right, 17 and 10, right? The Most High, He tries the reins and gives every man to their ways. So if your ways are aligned with the Most High and the things that please the Most High, right? You actively looking to knock and hear and dwell amongst the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with wisdom. It's gonna be given to you for you to be able to see things, and in order for you to do that, your mind got to be in the heavens, But I want to get this other scripture. This is one that the elder brother Carl had me bring up. This is Ephesians 2 and verse 8, right? It says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith." You see, and that's a beautiful thing, It's a blessing that the Lord is gonna allow this to be the case. You know what I'm saying? But everything is spiritual and then physical. You gotta believe inwardly and believe outwardly. You know what I'm saying? Faith with the works, because faith without works is dead. It's looking to get results, right? And the results you get is you being submerged in the Word, right? And receiving the understanding, and glorifying the Father that all that hear and be given the ability to receive the message and understanding, can continue to glorify the Father which is in heaven, right? Like we spiritually are joined with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, So with us having our minds, it's like you're a product of your environment, as the saying goes. So if you're a product of your environment, that's what you're gonna bring about. So if you constantly get your mind in the Lord's word, according to the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're gonna put yourself in position to be able to receive of the things of the heavens, the things that the Most High had promised, And I get it. My next verse. This is Philippians 3 and verse 20. Right? It says, "For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach." Not know Jesus Christ, right? That's some bullshit. There were never anybody named Jesus Christ within the scriptures, So we have our conversations in the heavens. Why? Because in the heavens is where you receive the blessings, the promises, the inheritance, right? In the heavens is where the Most High in Yahweh Shai dwell, right? In the heavens, is a higher understanding, right? Our thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts, neither are our ways His ways. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta dwell on a higher level versus just being surface or face value. Hence being thinking so carnally, thinking so worldly. Having all your thoughts and understanding the conversations all being on an earthly level, right? You gotta have them higher than that in order to receive the things that's higher than just base wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. The one that's on high, He's the one that created everything on earth. So it only makes sense to go to Him to receive the understanding of the things that's on the earth. How much more the things that are happening, and the things that He allowed us to understand, the things that He has given us, because He hasn't given us everything, But the things that He has given to us, those are the things that we, study to show ourselves approved of, to stay amongst those conversations, right? But it says, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto His glorious body, And those are the things that we haven't yet seen, but we understand we're going to be given new bodies, spiritual bodies. You know what I'm saying? Bodies with spiritual power, the means to the means and capability to not die, not perish. That's a beautiful thing, right? And people in the world, they through their lack of belief, and constantly having themselves being invested in this world, they're not gonna receive it, and that's gonna be their downfall, because they didn't take the time to understand the Lord and to build their belief, build their understanding, and put themselves in position to where they can now move and operate according to the standard that the Most High set up, so that we can be saved and so that we can receive those promises. Now, my next verse is 2 Corinthians 4, and I'm gonna start at 7. It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels." You see, that treasure being this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Being able to have the ability to understand and comprehend everything, And it says, being able to have the proper guide being able to have the proper guide to go about everything in the right way, because he's given us the guide. He allows us to be able to see things on a completely different level than most, right? His wisdom is far exceeds the wisdom of this world, because the wisdom of this world is foolishness according to the Most High, right? As it says in I believe that's 1 Corinthians 3, right? But it says that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us, right? So we're looking to go to the Most High for all these things, these wonderful, these wondrous things, being, the spiritual power, having the kingdom, right? This kingdom where we have, peace and tranquility, things being put back right, no longer having wickedness constantly abounding, the love of many waxing cold, evil's increasing, none of those things, right? That's what we're able to receive of the Lord, through Him. Are we able to understand that, understand what it is that we're truly fighting for, so I can give me 1 second. But it says, continue, it says, we are troubled, verse 8, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair, right? So in this world, in this flesh, we got constant things to go through. Like I said, those greater evils, but But the way that we cope and get through it is through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shai, and taking His yoke upon us, you know, putting in the time and effort to learn of His word and serve Him, be about our Father's business, you know. That takes us again, taking ourselves out of just a carnal mind and having a spiritual one, you know, because there's true beauty in that, right? It says, verse 9, persecuted but not forsaken. You see, cast down but not destroyed. So we gonna have, you know, things that we go through in the flesh, but it's through the Lord. It's through His Spirit, right? Looking to be just, you know, just man falls 7 times but get it back up, you know. That ability to get back up comes through Yahweh Shema Shai, you know. The things that we go through is to make us tougher, make us stronger, you know. The Lord, He don't have certain things happen to us to where it destroys us, you know. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. That way the next time we can actually get the W, you know, instead of the L, right? But it says, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahweh Shai, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body, right? And that's us being renewed. That's just putting off the old, you know, and putting on the new, you know, doing it in the Spirit, so that way we're ready and capable and able to be put in position to where we can withstand the furnace of adversity. You know what I'm saying? We're purifying the inward, so that way the outward can be made purified. You know, and that's all through Yahweh Shai, because again, He is the Word, right? He is the Word. You know, and scriptures say, in John, right, 3:12, it says, if I have told you earthly things and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? Right? That's important to understand. If you can't comprehend the things on a low level within the scriptures, how much more the things on a high level, right? Because not everything was given to every man for them to understand. So it's beautiful for us to be in this position, you know, those that have this truth, having the ability to comprehend all that is said, all that is written, you know, within the Lord's word, right? That's not something that's not known on the masses. Most of the masses is gonna be are written to be destroyed, you know. So to have this opportunity to where, you know, we're in position to receive the Lord's word, you know, is not something to take lightly, you know. And not taking it lightly, it ends up reaping way more, even if it's not something that's yet seen. But yet it'll be far greater than anything that you've ever seen on the earth, right? And just to back that up, right? How Shai said it. It ain't for everybody to understand. This is Matthew 13. Matthew 13 and verse 11 says, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So not everybody has this understanding, right? And it says, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Right? And let me read this last verse here as well. Let me see. There's a lot can do with me. It's crazy. Salakia, bear with me. Yeah, Salakia. So it says, verse 13. It says, Therefore speak I them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Right? So we're in position to receive far more of an abundance of things because of the fact that we've been given the ability to see and understand. You know? It's like so with us being in that position, right, we gonna be able to reap of those things, these things that's in the heavens, these things that people may think are far-fetched, you know, or unlikely, or they don't believe in that because, you know, I ain't never seen something like that, you know, or that's just some movie job, you know. Where did the movies get it from? They get it from the scriptures, right? We gonna be able to reap those things, you know, and it's gonna be beautiful, right? To hell with them that don't believe, you know. This is how you know that, again, this word is true, because we speak of the things that Yahweh Shai spoke of, that the disciples spoke of, right? Those that were of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai spoke of, because they had their conversations in the heavens, you know. That's why you have Yahweh Shai going on to say what? John 14 and 2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. You see? So he's telling you because that it is something to believe in. It is something that's true. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, I go to prepare a place for you. So it isn't this place. This is why you aren't to have yourself invested in this world, because in this world, it's only pushing the means of the flesh, right? Not understanding how with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai the impossible becomes possible. It says, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. You see? So us believing in these things is how we stay close to Yahweh Shai. And it's only through Yahweh Shai that we gonna have salvation. The closer we are to Him, you know, the closer we are to Him, right, the better off we are in regards to receiving of those promises and that inheritance. You know, those 5 wise virgins, they took heed and were able to make it in before the door closed. And when they made it in, to be close to the husbandman, the bridegroom, being Yahweh Shai. And us that have the wisdom, you know, and those that make it onto the end, they gonna be the ones deemed to be, you know, the 5 wise, you know. So, and I've been quoting this, so I'm gonna grab it here. Hebrews 10 and verse 23. It says, I'm gonna start 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. You see? And that assurance of faith, right, is having our minds staying on this truth, having our minds constantly within this word, constantly building that faith, and knowing that the things that the Lord said is true, and it will be, you know, it is gonna come to pass, right? This is that pure water, the Lord's word. But verse 23, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. You see? So we hold fast to this, and that's why we constantly speak on these things, because these things are written to come to pass, and the Lord, he's not a man that he shall lie. He's not the author of confusion. So the things that he says is going to come to pass for those that endure to the end, right? They're going to be able to receive those promises that he promised. And that's a beautiful thing, you know? We understand the things that's in heaven going to come down on earth, because that's, again, the spiritual and the physical. That's why you have, like it says in Revelation 21:10, right? It says, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and shewed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, right? That's the kingdom, you know, and the elect included, right? The 144,000 sitting on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, it says descending out of heaven from God. You see? So the things that's in the heavens, the things that's of the spirit, they gonna be made manifest. You know, he gonna be given those new bodies, the extraterrestrial. You know, and I'll end it here. In Sirach 2:10, it says, look at the generations of old and see, right? So pay attention to the men that have been before us, the men that we read about. You know, these accounts that were written by, you know, these holy scribes, those that were moved by the Spirit of the Lord, right? And see, did ever any trust in the Lord was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? You see? No one. Because they trusted in the Lord. Right? And in Isaiah 26. It says, what? Verse 3, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh, not Jehovah, but Yahweh, is everlasting strength. You see? And what is that everlasting strength going to be? Right? That eternal life, the promises, and the inheritance. So though we may not see the things now, we see them through the Spirit, and we know that they're going to come. And everybody going to be confounded. Those that didn't believe, right? And as it says in Romans, every knee gonna bow, because that's what's written. You know, so we get ourselves, we stay in this word, and we get ourselves on point in the Spirit, and build our faith by the works, by constantly reading up, you know, and applying this word to our daily lives. You know, building our spirits strong enough to beat our flesh into submission, so that way we are able and capable of receiving, you know, all the things that's written to be given to those that endure unto the end, and those that receive salvation. And that's pretty much it. So that's it. Lord willing, is edifying with that. I'm gonna give all the praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Wahawa Kakodash. Till next time, Shalom.